Thinking of building a new home and you think you might need some help? Well, today is a lucky day. We got an outstanding Ask the Expert guest. You know her well, Carol McClintock with FC Tucker, MD Realtor, of course, Team McClintock. Carol, happy belated New Year. It's a new year. You've told us before the market's really pretty good, right? And you think it's going to be the early forecast for 22?
What we're hearing is that 22 is going to continue to be a great year for real estate. So we want to talk about building houses because now is kind of the time people think, oh, it's holidays are over. We've talked about this before, Mike, and people think, my house is either too big, as in fitting too many people, or it's too small because we want more people to be able to stay with us. So they're talking about building homes.
And if you're building a home, and more people are building, right?
Right. Yeah.
If you're thinking of building, one of the keys is number one, you gotta have a budget, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And a good way to get a budget is to go look at some new homes, because then you can get an idea what those cost. But you really need to know, I work with a charming young couple back in December, and that's exactly what we did. We went out and we looked at some homes, said, okay, this costs this costs this, what are you comfortable spending?
And just like if you're setting a budget for your home, you have to there's some tips. You've got some wonderful tips about budgeting. What's one or two things we may overlook putting a budget together?
Well, we just need to remember that there are cost overruns in a build. It doesn't matter whether you're building a $200,000 house or $1 million building. Things are going to happen. So figure a 10% in there just for those occurrences, and then remember to make sure you add everything up. The lot's going to cost more than the build. You've got to make sure you've got that. A fireplace costs more, and then you just need to decide what's important to me. Is a fireplace more important than a larger bonus room? However those things work out.
And something too, when you build, and of course the area location, right? Choosing a lot. How critical is it to put a lot of thought into that?
Well, you want to make sure that you have a lot that's big enough for kind of what you'd like. Some people like smaller lots. They don't want to mow as much grass. Some people want something bigger and more private. So you really need to get out and look, see where it is, see what's around it, just like we talked about buying a house.
And our fourth item, pick a house plan.
Right.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you need to have a plan to work from, just like anything else. You got to have a plan to be successful. So, are you going to have a plan where the bedrooms are split? Owner suite on one side, kids' bedrooms on the other. Do you want a one-story or a two-story? There's lots of things to look at, and sometimes it takes a while to figure that out.
And also, just like you have to have the right plan, you got to have the right builder, don't you? Mm-hmm. What are some keys in that?
I recommend people talk to at least two builders. You spend a lot of time with these people, even more time than you do with a realtor. So you want to feel like you have a good relationship with them, you can trust them, and you know that they're going to do a quality job. So you may want to look at some of the homes they've built.
Talking to Carol McClintock of FC Tucker, MD Realtors, there's a sixth point, contracts and allowances. Mm-hmm. Again, another very key point, and also more about just what the housing market and everything else, what does it look like in 2022? You're watching Midday with Mike, and we're back, but first, listen to these important messages. Again, talking with Carol McClintock of Team McClintock of FC Tucker, MD Realtors. We're talking about 6 wonderful points if you're thinking of building a home. The sixth point, contracts and allowances. Contracts, explain.
Well, you want to have this, once you spend all this time getting the lot and the builder and getting your loan, then you want to make sure that you have a signed contract with the builder, because this is going to outline what this is going to cost you, what's going to happen if there are cost overruns. And then on allowances, you're going to be given an allowance for the light fixtures, for the plumbing fixtures. And your builder will tell you, okay, you can go this place, different stores to pick these things out. You have $3,000, that's in your contract. And then if you don't spend that much, you get a credit for it. If you get in there, oh, I really like this light fixture so much better.
Right.
I'll spend the extra money. Then you make that decision, and then that's going to add on to the cost.
You know, and again, as you mentioned, it's a great time. More and more are people of all ages building now more than before?
Yeah, well, I don't know if more than, but there are a lot of people that are building because there isn't as much inventory in the market. And so they're like, hey, let's just go ahead and build. We're going to have to wait 6 months to find something. Let's go ahead and build what we want.
Now, perhaps you're pleased with your home, but you know what? You say, we really want to sell in 2022, but you say, you know what? I'm going to take my house off the market during the winter months. What do you say to people that want to do that? Okay,
well, we've been saying this to a lot of people. That's the worst time in the world to take your house off the market.
Why?
Because there's still people out looking. The interest rates are still fantastic. And if you take it off the market, you wait till spring, more people are going to have their house. So there's going to be more competition. So now, in January, best time to get your house on the market.
What's the biggest mistake as a homeowner we might make trying to sell our home? What are a couple things that we don't do that we should right off the bat?
Well, the biggest mistake is overpricing. We all think our house is worth more.
And it's easy to do, right?
Yeah. You should talk to a realtor and have them do it, but you can look at all the public record and Zillow and all that and figure that out as well. So I'd say that's the biggest thing that people do.
Also, she's always emphasized the word clean. And now, if you're going to be showing your house now, a week or so, or here in the month of January, after the holidays, you say make it as neutral as possible. Explain.
Right, exactly. So we want to remove anything from the house that's going to make people feel like they're looking at your house. They need to be looking at their future home. So we don't want photographs around. We often talk about religious objects, you know, those kind of things that really make a home personal. You want it to be neutral, and you can't clean it enough.
And do you ever have people say, you know what, maybe I ought to paint the boys' room that's kind of a brazen color, you know, something like that. If there's a room with an outlandish color, get rid of it?
Right, exactly. That's all that depersonalizing. You know, the purple bedroom and the pink bathroom.
Even you're an Aces fan.
Yeah, our little Susie loves, you know, really go ahead and do it. I'll have sellers say, well, we'll just let the buyers pick it out. No, just paint it white. It's okay.
Best way to get a hold of FC Tucker MD Realtors, but specifically Team McClintock.
Yeah, they can call us at 812-777-5220 or reach out through our website, teammcclintock.com.
And again, whether you're selling or buying a home or building a home, don't forget to check out FC Tucker MD Realtors and Carol McClintock. Happy belated New Year, Carol. Thanks for coming in. And folks, thank you for watching. Again, as always, we hope you have a great day. Hey, come on back tomorrow. We'll see you again on Midday with Mike.